guys, today I'm going to invite you to do some work with me, and that may not sound so diverting, but I can promise that the work I have to do is very crinkly. So what I'm doing today is unpacking and processing some new items for my boutique. I think I may have mentioned in the past that I run a clothing boutique. It's a pop-up boutique, and so today I will just be showing you some of the new items I've gotten in, and they all come in this great packaging. So to start, before I start looking at all the clothes, I'm going to go through and get the invoice, just to make sure that I have everything that should be coming in with this order. Keep it all in this fairly sturdy envelope too, which is nice. Here is the invoice. I have a couple notes, a couple receipts, things like that. So, and I'll just tie that up. Okay, so I run my boutique part-time, and it pops up, as I say, at street fairs, at outdoor events, things like that, outdoor markets. And so right now I just want to go through my invoice and just confirm that everything is here. At the same time, I'm going to be making some notes about the items themselves, about quality, about fabric weight, about style, and this will give me a good idea of how I can sell, at what price I can sell all of these items. It's very important to me to keep costs very, very low, and I'll tell you about that as I sort of start just checking everything in. So, to me, a lot of what I sell are more ephemeral type of fashions. And by that, I mean clothes that you can't find anywhere else, but that provide a sense of imagination and a sense of aspiration. If you go shopping at a designer, or at the mall, or downtown, or online, usually going in with something of a game plan. I know I do. But if you're at a fair, if you're at a market, you will not necessarily be shopping for anything in particular. You might not even know that you're shopping at all. That is why I use these. These are tiny little clothespins, which I think are so cute. I'll get one out to show you. These clothespins remind me like of a clothespin for like a doll. I got inspired to start my boutique the first time I went to Southeast Asia. I didn't know any of the languages then, but I kept hearing one word, Tokata. People would point, Tokata, Tokata. And for a while I thought, oh my gosh, these people are pointing at me. They must hate me. I don't know why. I don't know what this word means. Eventually I found out that it means doll, or like living doll. And I felt really embarrassed because I don't feel like a doll. I feel like an alley cat or something, just kind of running around. No real agenda. But it gave me this idea for a boutique that would feel a little bit like being in a doll's closet. So these little teeny tiny things, they sort of help create that ambiance when I set up my boutique. But more importantly, they also serve a function in that people who shop at street fairs, at special events, at night markets, they like to browse, and so sometimes things can start to fall off the hangers. So these are just to make sure that the clothes don't keep falling onto the ground, because most of the time our market is outside. So anyway, but because people aren't going to shop with an agenda, they're just there to have fun. People like to have their imagination stimulated. So I try to find clothes that will be scintillating to the imagination. However, if you look behind me, you'll see some of the clothes I sell from when I travel around the world and buy them. And they're quite colorful. And some of them are almost to the level of costume inspired. I would say not quite costume, but from a retail perspective, maybe more toward costume than toward really casual and really wearable. However, for me, they're wearable. Because I like to wear all kinds of silly things all the time. So what I find is, even though there are plenty of customers who love the kind of silly, crazy, candy-colored dream of some of these clothes, there are also people who come in and they're brought in by those clothes, but ultimately they want something that's a little bit more wearable every day. So I try to cater to sort of both ends of that experience, knowing that people are there mostly to have fun, you know, and fun shopping is buying something that maybe you normally would not. So I'm just going through right now to confirm that we have the different sizes, and that everything looks like the quality I expect. So let's just go through. 3, 4, 5. Okay, so there's 6 of those. We had the Westie sweaters, which we have. Those look good. And that's 2, 8, 8. This key 5, 1, 3, 6 is there. And for me, it's very important to keep good records, because when you run your own business, you're the one who's responsible if something goes wrong. So anyway, so I'll show you some of these. One of the first things I want to show you is this really sweet Westie sweater. You can see, well, Westie, or I should say Scotty dog, right? I guess the silhouette could be, looks more like a Scotty dog. And you can see it's much like the placement and scale of a polka dot pattern. For the last probably 5 years, in sort of casual fashion, you've seen new riffs on polka dots that often feature like birds or bow ties instead of just dots. But like I said, I try to provide clothes that are a little bit different from what you might normally see. And I had never seen these Westie dogs before. So, the other great thing about the Westie dog, I'm sorry, Scotty dog, they're probably meant to be Scotties. Here we are. So, one thing I love about these sweaters is they come packed with this to sort of help keep them all folded. I love the sound of the tissues that come inside. And you'll notice, maybe, I'm not quite sure how much you can see, but even though it is summertime, this is a very, very, very lightweight cardigan. And the logic here is that a lot of women during the summer like to wear, dresses with lots of tulle or all kinds of things, but ultimately it's good to have layering items, because a nice lightweight sweater can help keep you out of the sun. It can give some protection, and it can provide a little bit of warmth and comfort if you go somewhere that's air conditioned, or if it suddenly gets cold out. So I find that it's always good to have some very lightweight, longer sleeve items come summertime. And I thought these were just darling. So, what I'm looking for now, as I go through these, is I'm looking at things like fabric weight and fabric quality. I'm looking at things like how finished the product is. Is it lined? Does it have fixtures? Are those very quality fixtures? Here we have buttons, button, 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 buttons all the way down. So all kinds of things to think about when we're going to factor cost in our mind. Of course, I have a window, I guess, or a margin of markup that I know I need to meet to make even a little profit. But I always ask myself, how much would I actually pay for something? And that tends to be not a whole lot. So I keep prices really low because, like I said, a lot of the clothes I have are meant to be exciting, but those clothes that sort of excite us, the clothes that we would call maybe like aspirational clothing, clothes like this dress, which has this metallic texture. This is definitely a party dress. And it has this really wonderful, kind of sexy cutout in mesh right down the middle. But it's not too revealing otherwise. I think it's always good if you want to dress a little bit more provocatively to temper it. You know, if you're going to show off one thing, maybe leave the rest to the imagination. But anyway, that's just my opinion. You should dress however you want. Something like this dress might inspire someone to say, you know what? I haven't been to a party, or I haven't been to a cocktail hour, or something like that in a really long time. Or I haven't had a night out with the girls in a really long time. But maybe if I had a dress like that, maybe then I would feel inspired to do those things. And I think that's the way I like to think about a lot of my clothes. But if you get a dress and you spend, let's say, $30 on a dress, you only wear it maybe once or twice. Maybe you wear it 10 times. Maybe you wear it 20 times. But, and this is a different one. Well, it's the same dress, it's just a different style. I think the one I was holding up is a large, but I have them in different sizes. But anyway, something that makes you sparkle, literally and figuratively. It might be something that you only wear so many times. So if you go instead to a designer and spend $1,000 on your fun, aspirational cocktail dress, you might come to regret it, you know. I like to think that my fashions are, or I should say the fashions that I curate are meant to be fun and scintillating to the imagination, but also affordable, sort of, free of guilt, because people also, they buy them on impulse, you know. They're just at a street fair for the day, so they don't want to break the bank. Some people say that I should sell my clothes for a lot more money because I could. And that is true. I could. But I don't. Because I make a perfectly healthy profit. And to me, knowing that people will feel good, it means they'll seek me out again maybe. And it means at the end of the day, I can feel good too. I can feel good about myself and about my business. So, anyway. But in order to do that, like I said, it's one thing to sort of just see clothes. The clothes that I can procure while I'm traveling around the world, like those back there. I can see them, I can touch them. I can try them on sometimes and see what they're really like. But I also have to sort of bolster my stocks with things bought from different wholesalers I have relationships with. And so with those things, sometimes you get the item and it's not quite what you thought. So in those cases, I will either send the items back or I will make an adjustment to the price. If something is a lot more sheer, if the fabric is lighter, if the closures are cheaper, I'll reflect that in the price. I'll edit what I was expecting to sell it for. And that's kind of one of the things I'm looking at right now. I think a lot about providing different clothes for different kinds of women. Well, I do have things like rompers and dresses and even like a Lolita-inspired dresses and all of that. I also think that there are women, most women like to have a variety, and we also like to have things that are maybe a little bit more sensual, maybe a little bit more edgy. So this is one thing like that. It's a dress, and you'll see it has sheer layers, and these sheer cutouts. This is right around the stomach, right around the abdomen, and then a little cutout here that shows just a little bit above the shoulder, or I'm sorry, a little bit below the shoulder. And so it's a little racy, and you'll see it's got sparkles, it's got mesh, and what I like about it is it's still very, very comfortable. The fashion, I should say the fabric, is quite breathable. It's body loving, I say. It really does sort of, it's what we call body con, or body conscious in retail. It will definitely accentuate your body. It also has an exposed zip. Something about the exposed zip has really been showing up a lot in fashion lately. It's very much of the moment, part of our sort of retail zeitgeist. And I think the reason for that is because an exposed zip creates a sense of tension between something softer, something maybe more feminine, and then giving a little bit of a harder element. Literally a hardware element. So, you'll even see, of course, all kinds of, fake zips and fake hardware elements. And, of course, we know that comes from years and years and years of fashion evolution. But originally, an exposed zip meant that a garment was quite cheap, because an exposed zip meant it wasn't finished. However, today you see even very, very sophisticated high-end brands showing exposed zips because it's playful and it's a collision again of hard and soft, sophisticated and unrefined, and it gives a little bit of a surprise. So I try to stock items for all kinds of women, and even though I do my best to sort of anticipate what kind of woman might like which particular outfits, I'm always surprised and sort of dazzled by people who I would never expect to pick out certain garments. Sometimes, like, a 70-year-old lady will want, like, a Lolita dress. It's wonderful. This is wonderful. Anyway, so then what I want to do is just look at the item and think about possible price points, taking into consideration all the original invoicing, and thinking about what a reasonable price point for some of these are. So, like the Scotty dog cardigans. And you can kind of look. Those are SKU. 574 5741, and they wholesale dollars. Okay, and then I can think, what would I buy? What would I buy one of those for? And it's just a huge advantage to be able to interact with customers directly, because you really get a sense of how people shop, what makes people feel good, what makes people feel nervous, and sometimes you get to help people sort of overcome some of their fashion inhibitions. So, in any case, it's rewarding, I would say, to watch people fall in love with outfits that you've personally sought out and picked out. And my favorite thing is seeing how people will style the clothes. I have a friend who bought from me at a discount. I give my friends huge discounts because otherwise they'd probably hate me. Anyway, she bought this beautiful, somewhat formal silken dress, and it had chiffon layers of knife pleats. Knife pleats are very fine, thin pleats, so they add texture without adding volume to a silhouette. So sometimes pleating can almost add a little bit of weight to your figure, which nobody wants, I don't think. Although some people certainly want to accentuate their curves, but anyway, it can throw off a silhouette if the pleats aren't just perfect. So anyhow, she bought this, and it was so soft and it was so feminine, and it was, like I said, it was like a cream color, beautiful. And if I would have worn it, I like to wear, obviously, little sparkly, girly outfits. I do also like to wear lots of black, and I like big cloaks, and I like outerwear, and I like things that are sort of gender ambiguous too, but it's summer, so mostly I wear, dresses and things. But anyway, she paired this wonderful this dress with just a cotton. It was like a cotton cardigan, like almost an olive color. And I never, ever, ever would have done this. And she rolled up the sleeves a little. She looks so cool. She looks so cool in it because she's made it her own, and she's not overtly girly all the time, and so she's like remastered this dress and has made it so playful and a little bit irreverent, I think. So my favorite thing is to watch how people style clothes, and when they come back and they're wearing things they bought for me, I go crazy because I love to see what they've done. So anyways, I appreciate so much you hanging out with me for a little bit while we go through some of my clothes, and play around with my my little clothespin. And like always, I love to hear about all of you, and I always read with such excitement all of the things you tell me in the comments. So if you tell me anything about like your favorite outfit, or like your favorite place to shop, or if you think that fashion is just, vapid and frivolous or whatever, that's great. I love to hear it all. And I will do shortly. I'll do a role play that actually features some of my more adventurous outfits, like a shopping boutique role play. So if you want, just let me know, and I'll do that. And whatever you're doing, whether you're gearing up to go do something like, take a test or go to work, or if you're just about to fall asleep, I just hope that your day or your dreams are filled with all kinds of good things. But mostly, I hope they're filled with crinkles and not wrinkles. So, thanks as always for spending time with me, and